What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to take the Civic Type-R on one of our favorite mountain roads. Now that I've got these spring spacers, intake and exhaust, we have a pretty good setup on this car now and we're going to rip it through a fun road to test it out.
This will be my first time ever really driving and experiencing the car. So we have Brembo brakes, manual transmission, front wheel drive. Let's see how this hot hatch performs on this road.
All right, here we go in the Type-R. So we have about 315 horsepower front wheel drive, limited slip differential. It's a really performance focused hot hatch. And even with front wheel drive, honestly, it just handles really good from my experience so far. We're gonna be in R mode. We may or may not toggle it in between my individual setting because I have the suspension steering in the more comfortable mode just because it's kind of a bumpy road.
Do we have adaptive suspension in this?
It does.
Interesting, okay.
I mean, for a $45,000 car, especially a Honda Civic at the end of the day,
yeah,
it has adaptive suspension, steering, the engine tuning changes, basically, the throttle changes.
So it has all of your performance settings, not necessarily having a lot of horsepower, but it has the performance settings.
Yeah, all the same features in, yeah, the GTR, the RS3, yeah. Like, has a lot of that going for it.
I will say, so I've only been in this car about 40 minutes. The seats are pretty comfortable.
Oh yeah.
I could see these being a good long road trip type of seat, but then on roads like this, I think they did a good job with a touring type bucket seat.
Yeah, they're aggressive, but comfortable enough. So I'm in individual mode just to give us the soft suspension. Yeah. One of the complaints with the Type-R, a lot of people have been doing the module from the Integra Type S to actually further adjust the suspension. It's kind of cool. You can put an OEM module in here and make it even better, apparently. Because this, in the race mode, it is really track set up.
Oh, wow.
You feel every single bump. Like right here.
Right here, yeah. Wow. We're bouncing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive, though.
And now in individual mode, which is my comfort suspension, yeah. Look how much more like, oh, that's so much better. Oh, wow.
And the road's not the smoothest.
Yeah, it's a bumpy road.
But yeah, you can feel a difference.
So with the mods, you guys can, if you own a Type-R, check out our website because all these products are listed there. From stock, this is a lot better. It just handles that much more sharp. It already handles like a go-kart and it sounds so good with that turbo sound and the exhaust.
Is this your first time really doing performance driving like this? I know you have some twisty roads by you, but... Yeah,
I've just done the roads by my house, which are pretty good, but not this much switchbacks.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how the power for front wheel drive is as far as having like torque steer or anything like that.
You do feel it. I'd say Honda does a good job with the limited slip to where it's not awful. Yeah. Like when you compare this to the GR Corolla, which of course is all-wheel drive, you don't get any of that in that car. This car, you're gonna get it, but also it does help you pull around turns, which is quite nice. It hardly understeers unless you hit boost. Like even there, we didn't understeer at all.
Yeah.
So it's, I would say, absolutely the best front-wheel drive car there is.
I know from our perspective, this is the first front-wheel drive car either of us have ever owned.
Since my TC,
yeah.
Which was half my life ago.
So, you know, I think our perspective has changed slightly.
I would say from the TC, I was always in the mindset of I would never go back to front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But experiencing this car, I still know it's there, but it's not a hindrance of this car.
You feel like you need to drive different?
Slightly. You just got to know if it's like a wet, sharp turn, don't be flooring it because you're just going to go straight.
Yeah.
Some people have commented about how this car does in the rain. If you do go around a sharp turn and hit the boost, you're going to go straight. So be careful of that. There's a little bit of turbo lag in this car to where you just have to fight that because the turbo can come on a little bit later than you might anticipate. Go back into the R mode. Like right there,
yeah, I could feel it kind of pull left as you turned.
So it's kind of, it's not, I would say, a bad thing. It's just you have to adapt to drive this performance front-wheel drive car very well.
Right.
So it's just a different driving experience. I'd say it's plenty powerful though, with 315 horsepower.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a 0 to 60 monster. It's like 5 seconds, so it's not that fast. but you're not buying this car to drag race.
Seems like it's pretty at home right here compared to the numerous cars we've had on this road.
Oh, it does. It's so nimble. It's like a little go-kart. And the fact that you can fit people in the back, snowboards in the back. I mean, it's a practical hatchback.
Little bikes.
Literally, you can do anything. The steering feel is super tight too in this. We're not bottoming out the suspension either with the H&R drop.
How low did you go?
It's about 3/4 of an inch.
Okay. Not too aggressive.
Yeah, so this is a really good just overstock like plus setup. I'd say aside from just fighting the steering on some of the turns, that's the only thing you notice that is different.
Yeah.
Man, the shifter is responsive. You guys have commented saying I'm becoming a fanboy of the Honda in a good way. And I am becoming a very big fan of this Type-R. It is so much fun. And knowing that this was 45 grand, it was, you know, nearly 15, 20 grand cheaper than the Supra I sold for this.
Yeah.
And I've been smiling the whole time. To me, that's a lot of value with me having a more practical car that's so much cheaper.
Yeah.
And yet it's so fun to hit the turns. You can just smile left and right as you go left and right.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I've never been around this car, so that for a Honda, that's impressive.
This is a fun toy.
So my turn now. We got a little bit of a wet road here, but even with a mild acceleration, I mean, there's no wheel spinning or anything.
Yeah, not bad. If you get really into boost, it'll definitely spin a little bit.
Yeah. But I do like, so I drove it here, which was about half hour or so. I do like how easy it is to drive. So like the clutch is light, the shifter's really nice. So I don't have any issues with that. This has active rev matching from what I found, right?
Yep, and you can actually turn it completely off.
Yeah.
I've just left it in the sport just because I think it's fun to have it do it for me, quite honestly.
Yeah.
We're getting old.
But it just seems very easy to drive too. So if you're looking for a car that maybe this is your first manual too, I feel like this is a good entry-level type of vehicle where you can just learn how to become a better driver and not have something too intimidating either.
Yeah, and if the price point, obviously this might be a bit much for the first timer, but an SI or even just a Sport, if they still make a manual base model.
Yeah.
But the Honda, the Civic lineup is so popular, and I can see why after now owning the best Civic they've ever made.
This is a lot of fun.
My first time ever being in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
My wife isn't too keen on driving manual, but she enjoys being a passenger in this car.
I mean, you got the noises like that.
Yeah, that Armaspeed intake is so good. These seats are amazing.
It's a fun car.
It is.
I'm really impressed with it, just because I've never had a front wheel drive vehicle ever.
You've hardly ever even driven front wheel drive.
Yeah, so this is really my first impressions of a vehicle like this. And aside from, I can feel, you know, going left or right on the turns. If I give it some gas, I can feel the pull, which is different. It's weird, but it's not bad. Like, I feel like I could get used to it by the time we're done with this road here.
You just kind of learn it as if it were rear wheel drive, you got to learn that, you know, the oversteer.
Spot,
right. So this doesn't do that, it just pulls you instead. So the opposite effect, basically.
This is fun.
So we're still in individual mode. So it's impressive how even in this mode, the suspension is still pretty track tuned to handle these turns.
There's no body roll. There's nothing unsettling about it.
Very planted.
On these turns,
We're rocking Michelin, I believe, Pilot Sport 4S tires, which is what I have on all my cars. I love these seats. I've loved these seats since the day I bought this car. And now as a passenger, to where I don't have the steering wheel to kind of keep me planted, these bolsters are so cushioned and so large to where,
I mean, you're not moving.
I'm just kind of cushioning to each bolster. Same with my legs. These seats are so good.
I can see now why we know someone who has a Honda S2000 that put Type-R seats in it.
Oh yeah. I think if you look at the factory bucket seats, Type-R's, the BMW M carbon seats, a Lamborghini Huracan with those carbon adjustable seats are probably like the top 3 factory bucket seats. And we're talking about a $45,000 car with $100,000 and $300,000 cars.
Yeah.
My opinion, of course, but those are my favorite stock bucket seats. And a Honda has made it on my list.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I can imagine that the Civic SI would be such a fun car too at a lower price point as well. And then the Integra would be a little bit more luxury feeling, but kind of the same exact car.
Yeah. I'm definitely impressed.
Makes all the right noises with the mods.
Yeah. It makes you question too that, you know how we're always talking about when you hop into a car, how much more expensive do you really need to get your car?
Right.
Now, obviously that's a personal preference. Like, you know, you have the Lambo next to this, right? So like, those aren't comparable, but
right.
At a budget, you know, if whatever your budget is, whatever car you want, you know, how much more expensive do you have to go than this if this is all you're looking for, right? Like,
I feel this car has taught me a lot. This is the first time I have gone down a step in cars. I went from a $60,000 Supra, which is a better car technically,
yeah,
to a $45,000 Honda Civic, which is an interesting change. Obviously, you guys have seen the video and those reasons, but this has made me realize every car truly has something that it's like good at and why you would buy it.
Right.
And you don't always have to be so gung-ho on, I want to be able to afford the next car, more expensive, look at me go. It's a great accomplishment to get to the next levels, of course.
Yeah.
But obviously I own my Lamborghini, my childhood dream car. Now that I have that car, it's like, I don't care about pricing on anything. I want to buy a car that's cool and that works for my needs. So it wasn't that I sold the Supra for this because, oh, I just want a cheaper car. It was, let me try something different that works with my new budget as I have other life goals, and I got everything I wanted.
Yeah, so
it's so cool.
I think it's neat that you have so many different levels of cars that can still give you different levels of performance.
Right.
So you don't have to have that top, you know, like the M3 we're about to drive or something, you know, like if that's something you want, you know,
right.
I'm not saying don't get what you want, but
it's cool though because
too,
with a car like this, I'm so less worried about this than the Supra, which 60 grand isn't the craziest in today's world, but to me 60 grand is still a good chunk of change.
Oh yeah, I mean this is still expensive.
Yeah, this isn't cheap, but for 45, you know, this is an average price point car.
Right.
It makes me so much more relaxed on owning to where I hope I don't get a rock chip, but if that happens, I'm not gonna cry about it, you know.
It's just a Honda.
Yeah, so it's a good level to where it doesn't break the bank, and yet it is just so fun to rip it. And we can use a lot of its potential without feeling like we're gonna hit 100 miles an hour and crash.
You know, I didn't even look at the tach. I don't know what we were hitting, but we weren't even close to red line.
4 to 6.
From
4 to 6, you can do a lot.
But yeah,
but
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. I like it.
We're gonna do a full POV now with just hearing the exhaust on the other way, but yeah, my first time as a passenger, this is a fun car. I have been very happy with it. It's been like 2 or 3 months. I've driven it, I don't know, 800 to 1,000 miles so far. I've been smiling the whole time. Yeah. And the fact that you can fit people in the back, stuff, it's so practical. It's under the radar for normal people. Car people like it though.
Yeah.
It's been the perfect sweet spot. I've been really happy with it. Honda, great job. I would love to test out the Integra Type S though to see the luxury aspects of what this car could be.
Yeah.
But this was the right choice for me. I've had a lot of fun. And your first time ever.
I don't have anything bad to say about that. That was spot on. So if you're looking to do roads like this, I mean, this will do it. This will give you the performance characteristics, not necessarily speed, but
doesn't feel slow.
You don't have to go fast to have fun.
Right.
So that was a ball.
Not to say it's not quick enough, though.
Right, yeah. That was impressive.
There you guys go. Honda Civic Type-R, the FL5 with my nice tasteful mods on it. Have some fun in the mountains. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned for plenty more content. Check out our website for Civic Type-R, as well as the SIs and the Integra parts. So we'll see you guys in the next video.